Hey guys, so I'm doing something a bit different today, and instead of just gameplay, I thought it would be more helpful to go into detail about why I use a specific team and why it's working so well. So this team here, it's Furina National. I've been using it a lot lately. It's a quick swap vape team that takes advantage of Furina's buffs and Hydra application. I think it's both one of the strongest teams you can play in this Abyss top half, but it's also one of the easiest teams. It's always been a good option for Furina teams, but I think it does even better than normal this Abyss. Let me explain why. So the first reason why it works so well is that it fully takes advantage of the current blessing of the Abyssal Moon, where if your team does a pyro reaction, you reduce the enemy's resistance by 30%, which is a lot. It's not quite, but it kind of acts like a free animo character with the VV set. Just a quick calc to show you how it works. Normally with the VV set against enemies with 10% resistance, you get about 27% damage increase from that, but as you may know already, resistance shred does get weaker once you get into the negatives. So if you stack VV with the blessing and maybe get around 70% shred, you're actually now only getting about 18% DPS increase from the VV set, which is of course still really good, especially if you've got buffs from someone like Kazuha or Sucrose, but you don't get as much from these characters as you might normally would. So in the national team, where I might normally put in a Kazuha, I'm instead able to use both Furina and xingqiu, and giving a lot of extra buffs, damage and Hydra application to the team. Xingqiu is running the noblesse set to buff himself and xiangling. I have seen people mess around with 4-piece golden troupe, especially if you can vape his skill hits. This is a big increase to his skill damage, but I'm not sure that's better in this team. And on Bennett, you can use either noblesse or 4-piece instructor for even more reaction damage. The cool thing is I'm also able to utilize the key on Furina, which is great for her damage offensively, but it also gives extra EM to xiangling. If you don't have the key, then you could use something like Festering Desire or even Favonius Sword, which is still really good since Furina is not doing a ton of this team's damage. You'll just miss out on some buffs. In combat, I think Furina having high HP is also really nice here for consistent clears, since whenever you see a big attack coming, you can switch to her to tank the hits. As someone who's done a lot of Abyss on stream, it can be annoying playing Arlecchino Shieldless or someone like Child, where you will be dying a lot. But Furina is like almost immortal. Now if I did play Kazuha, I could use his skill at the start of chamber 1 to manipulate the xingqiu RNG. So with Furina I have to run to the left and waste a bit of time, but Furina does make up for it. She also is able to instantly destroy the Capellius' shield in chamber 2 due to her arc attack. If you don't know what that is, it's the special attack that Fontaine characters have, and it lets you bypass the shield break phase. Although this team does have a lot of pyro application anyway, it still saves some time. If you don't have Fontaine or pyro characters, you can also use this sword that you get from the super long Fontaine side story. The last reason why this team works so well is even though chamber 3 is a multi-wave fight with 10 different enemies, I found you don't actually need much grouping. So again, you're not really missing out on a Kazuha this Abyss. When the second wave spawns, if you stand right in front of the big samurai, the other two samurais naturally group themselves together, at which point if you've got good enough investment, all three can be very quickly destroyed with the xingqiu skill and some xiangling vapes. And both the first and third waves can be staggered towards each other, as well as the final wave has this big mecha that you can't group anyway. And all this time you are benefiting from not playing a team reliant on debuffs, so the damage is consistent across the multi-waves. So that's how I can explain this team best for now. Do let me know if you do like this kind of format, and let's get on with the gameplay.
With a slow motion, and we up in the clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the moss soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lose the money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding.
Speak
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Here's the full builds, and let me know if you've tried this team and how you found it. And yeah, thanks for watching.